Hi everyone! In this tutorial, I'll show you how to transfer your hand drawings or handwriting to a format that is able to be laser cut. I don't have access to a laser cutter, and I'm assuming that most of you don't either, so this lesson will focus mostly on the setup of the document. However, in the handout I'm sharing, there will also be information on how to laser cut your document for whenever you get back to campus or have access to a laser cutter next. I used this technique in order to create the title page for my last project on a piece of plywood since the inside of the book was handwritten and I wanted it to match my handwriting and drawing style. I also thought I'd mention that this technique could similarly be applied to printing a drawing or text onto paper if you have access to a regular printer. This could be really helpful if you want your drawings to be a part of your book but don't want to draw directly in it, or if you want to make multiple copies of your book that are all the same. The only difference with this technique is that you would stop after you're done editing the image and print from there. With that out of the way, let's get started. You can laser cut an image both from a digital hand drawing or one done with pen and paper. I wouldn't recommend trying to draw your image straight into a drawing program if you don't have a tablet, since it's really hard to draw with a mouse or a touchpad. I don't currently have access to a drawing tablet, so I'll be drawing with a pen and then taking a photo of my drawing. This technique takes a few extra steps, but you can achieve the same effect. Another option I don't mention in this handout, but is plausible, is drawing in an image straight into Illustrator with the pen and shape tools if you're confident with that, but you lose a lot of your drawing style and personality that way. So here's my doodle, and I'm going to take a picture of it and show you how to edit it. So I'm just going to use the editing app that comes with my phone. That's totally fine. I highly recommend drawing your image on a blank white page and with a black pen. It just takes a lot less time to edit out lines that way. Once you've drawn your image, photographed it, and transferred it to your editing software, or just editing it on your phone, turn the saturation all the way down, or put on a black and white filter, preferably one with a lot of contrast. Then turn up your exposure, brilliance, and contrast, and turn down your shadows and highlight. You can also mess with the levels depending on your program. Mess around with these controls until your image has the highest amount of contrast between the background and image without losing the image itself. You want the background to be as white and flat as possible, which is why it's good to take a picture of your image without shadows if you can. You want the strokes of your pen to be bold and dark too. Once you're done with this, save your image. Open up Illustrator and create a blank document. When you do this, think about the size of the material you want to print on so that you can orient your image on the page the way you want it. For example, if you want to print on a letter-sized piece of paper, set your dimensions to 8.5 by 11 inches. Make sure it's in inches. Then go to File and press Place. Find your picture and place it on your page where you want it to be and how much space you want to take up. Be conscious of the size of the laser cutter itself, although I doubt you're going to be cutting anything larger than 32 by 20 inches. Once your image is situated, head over to Properties and press Image Trace. What you choose not only depends on your image, but how you want it to look when you laser cut it. For a simple line-drawn image like this, the best option will most likely be line art, sketch art, silhouettes, technical drawing, or black and white logo. For drawings that use colors, you might want to choose high fidelity, low fidelity, 3 colors, 6 colors, or 16 colors. Shades of gray is good if you have a black and white image that's shaded in some places and you want the shading to be engraved. Play around with these options and see which one is the best for your image. Once you've chosen one, go back to Properties and click Expand. Then click Ungroup. This separates the lines in your image so that you can edit the lines separately if you need to. We're almost there. Before you do the next thing, think about exactly what it is you want to do with your image or text. Do you want it to cut through your material, or do you just want to engrave it onto your material? If you want it to cut, select the image and change the line weight to 0.025. Anything that is this line weight or under will cut. If you want to etch your image in, type something above this. I usually just type in 1. Anything that is filled in will automatically be etched. Once you're done with this and your image looks ready, head over to File, Save As, and save your document as an Adobe Illustrator file. At this point, if I were at Mount Holyoke, I would reserve my spot for the laser cutter or send it to my email if I've already reserved it. Then I would go to the computer next to the laser cutters. Don't forget to ask somebody who works there to supervise you if your badge isn't stamped off for the laser cutter, and pull up my Illustrator file. Once you've opened it, go to File, Setup, Preferences. You just adjust your raster for engraving or vector for cutting, depending on what it is you want to do. And make sure to look at the booklet near the computer that gives you the correct percentages for the material you're cutting or engraving on. Once you've done this and double-checked your numbers, press OK and print. Turn the laser cutter and air compressor on, set up your material and the laser cutter you're using. Adjust the focus on the laser cutter to be barely touching your material. Find the file on the menu screen of the laser cutter and press go. Don't forget to stay there and watch your project the whole time while it's cutting to make sure nothing goes wrong. And then you should be done. Thanks for listening.